So we're just waiting for the session to go green. We can jump in. Open in league requests, league sessions. Let's see if we can get in. There we go. Okay, GT3 Cup. Off we go. Join session. Okay, so you should start seeing the stream. Okay, let me get this centered and we'll start driving. There we go, that's a bit better. Alright, so we're driving in VR today, so we'll have the option of looking around and seeing what's going on. Just loading up. So we're at Spa today, first round of the European Championship. Classic track, pretty much every GT game has this in it. Forza, I'm sure GT Sport does as well. Okay. Morning, Cliff. Right. Just waiting for people to join. A couple of people in here. Just make sure my view is centered again. There we go. Alright, so we have a 20-minute practice, 10 minutes of qualifying, 3 laps, and then a 30-minute race. We're at Spa on the endurance circuit, late afternoon. iRacing does not yet have weather and time transitions, but I hear that's coming this year. So everything's nice and sunny all the time. Just make sure my sound is set up correctly. Voice chat is up there. Chat, move that up. Okay. Good morning, Cliff. Morning, Ross. So let's go and do some driving. Everyone else should be able to get into the session. So here we are, 911 GT3 Cup car. Alright, let's get some heat into the tyres and see how this goes. Looks like we've got Cliff behind me. Use all the curb. Bit wide there. Lots of understeer. Cliff's going past. So we're running the GT3 Cup car and the rough RT12R. Cliff's in the rough. He says that drives much more like his 997. Full lock. Down into Eau Rouge. Take all the curb on the left, down to 5th. Hug the right, feed it out, and take the curb on the left. So this car has over rev protection, which means that sometimes you ask for a gear change and it doesn't give it to you because it will over rev. So it's not quite as snappy as something like a GT3R, which we use in the Project Cars series. Now I should have some heat in the tyres, so some of the understeer should go away. So much of online racing at this level is about just staying on the track. If you can stay on the track and post reasonable lap times, you'll probably come away with a few wins. So Cliff's right behind me. Deep into the ABS. Full lock. Let him past. Alright, let's see if we can keep up with him. He was keeping up with me pretty well, so let's see if we can return the favour. Ross is doing 2:38. It's pretty decent. First lap out. So Cliff's not really getting away. I expected him to be pulling away much further than this. Because the rough is much faster in a straight line than the GT3. The GT3 is better under braking and in the corners, so I guess there's enough corners at Spa. So he beat my time by a few seconds, but I don't think my previous time was all that good. A bit too deep in there. So these two cars are pretty evenly matched. Didn't bring it down as much as I wanted to there. Well, the rough is faster, so it will definitely pull away on some of these long straights. And with the additional power, it should be better up the hill. That was better. It's nearly a second faster. Cliff braked a little bit too deeply in there. So we'll get an idea of fuel usage on the next run. Let's look at where we are. 12.2. So with VR I get to look around, so I can have a look in the mirrors, look into the corner, you know, Just move my head around as much as I want. I've got a virtual mirror on, which is why I occasionally look up, but that's also where they show you if you've got any off-track penalties. So on iRacing, I've got it set up so you can get a maximum of 17 incident points before you get disqualified. So some of those times where you go a little bit up on the curbs, you just want to check whether you got any, whether you triggered anything on the iRacing penalty system. So I would say we're at pretty much full speed. So we're at 12.2 as we went into the chicane. So on the fuel. So let's just see where we end up at the same place at the end of this lap. So we want to drive it the way we intend to drive it. And with a bit of practice, you can get used to the way that the car handles, really judging rotation by the way that the view moves. And you can start to get that trail braking rotation effect. So here we go, as we come under the bridge, we are at 11.35, so just under 1 gallon, I think, or 1 litre per lap. So we got a 30-minute race. Lap time's about 2 minutes 30, so we'll probably get about 10 laps, 12 laps. Yeah, 12 laps. So I'm fine for fuel. And this actually seems to handle quite nicely on this fuel load, so. You can actually take quite a lot of that curb on the left without getting a penalty, which is handy. Since it's blind as you come over the crest and you tend to push to the right. Okay, end of practice. That means we'll be into qualifying. Excellent. Right, so garage, chassis. So I've got 16 gallons. That seems to be plenty though. Take that down a bit. 13, 12 laps. There we go. Apply that. Done. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. But for qualifying, we're only doing 3 laps. So let's take that down. So 14, I reckon we could do 4. Let's do 5. That would do. Just to be on the safe side. Alright. Just the 3 people today. I guess the Haggerty thing going on at PC has attracted a few people down there. So, You know what they say, the first motor race occurred when the second person had a car. So we're on track on our own for qualifying. Everyone qualifies solo. So no worries about traffic or anything like that. So I get an out lap and 3 qualifying laps in 10 minutes. And the laps have to be clean to count. So any off track will invalidate that lap. So it's probably not going to be uncommon for none of us to post a time. And with only 3 people, it really doesn't matter too much where you qualify. So just get some heat in the tyres. You know, the worst I'm going to get is 3rd on the grid, so that's close enough to be able to catch up with Cliff. And you know, I don't know how quick Ross is, but if he's quick, I'll be able to stay with him, hopefully. So we'll see if we can bank a time and just see where that puts us. Yeah. Turn in early. Alright. Get a good turn here to start the lap. Turn in at the wall. The power. Okay, or that's a good line. Feeding a little bit of throttle on as we go through the turn to get the back end around. Alright, I think that was clean. 2:28. It's not the fastest, but at least that's a lap time in. So Ross is second on 2:42. I expect Cliff to take pole today then. Although he hasn't posted a time yet, which is surprising. There he goes. 2:27. Okay, not too far ahead. Be a bit more aggressive this lap. Now I've got a time in the bank. Whoa. Yeah, that's not going to work. Understeer the whole way through there. This Cup car responds to really braking and then changing gear, unlike a lot of the Formula 1 titles where you just bang through the gears, or even some of the GT cars. Like a GT3 car will be much stronger on the brakes, so you can change gear much faster. There's no ABS and no traction control on this, so it's all down to you. Last lap. Yeah, we really messed up on that one. Not that it will count because we went off track. Ah, penalty. Alright, so 2:28 is the best we're going to do. Alright, let's head back and see what other people are up to. Okay, second. That'll do. Cliff, I think you've got this one in the bag. How's that rough handle? Alright, we've got 30 seconds. Alright, so let's put fuel in. We're going to need 13, 14. Let's do 14. Apply. Do we want less wing? Could do. But it's pretty comfortable the way it is. So Cliff, are you running out of brakes anywhere? Are you running out of brakes anywhere? Brakes. I'll look out for that then. Alright, off we go to the grid. Yeah, I had 2 laps with the wheels off, so hence a 2:28. Alright, so clutch in. Alright, let's just keep up with Cliff now. So the tyre's going to be cold, so we need to take it easy. Alright, I think we've lost Ross already. Brakes are cold as well. So a lot of understeer. Hopefully that will go away soon. Just anticipate it though, and then we can drive through it. This is where the rough would normally just take off, so... .4 seconds already. So just for anyone who might be typing in the chat, because I'm in VR, I can't actually see that, so I won't be able to respond to that during the race. See if we can just keep Cliff in sight for a bit. Cliff doesn't normally make mistakes, which is annoying. So best I can do is to try not to make any mistakes and see if we can stay in touch with him. Yeah, definitely don't text and drive. too deep. I reckon it's about 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds ahead. Okay, so the understeer seems to have worn out. Tires up to temp. See if we can push a bit. Alright, coming up on Ross. See how this goes. Hi Ross, great you can join us today. You may not have voice chat enabled though. I think he might be in the cup car. Lacoon. Really? So that'll get me a bunch of penalty points because iRacing penalises both drivers in a crash, regardless of who was at fault. So the plan was to dive down the inside into that corner and have Ross stay left, but it can be difficult on a 2D screen. Like if you're just using a single monitor, it can be difficult to gauge who's alongside you, although the spotter normally calls that out. Unfortunately, with iRacing damage, I believe we have damage enabled. So hopefully that won't cost me too much. We're way back though. Alright. Now we've lost Cliff, he's off in the distance. Once he finds his rhythm, it's probably going to be hard to beat. Maybe I need to text him. Let's get back in the groove. Not good. We have Ross up ahead again. Oh. I'll be a bit more careful passing this time. Kind of don't want to pass him into the chicane. Flipping out. Passing right. Seriously. Okay, you do actually have to watch out for other cars at some point. But I think it's the first time iRacing. Oh. Ross, what was that? What the hell was that? Ross, that kind of stuff just isn't acceptable. Alright. Clear if I just got taken out completely. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you had this one in the bag, but yeah, I just got wiped out coming out of Eau Rouge. Just completely turned into me. Okay, so we sit here for like 2 minutes waiting for it to be repaired, and then pit stuff, and then let's go and watch Cliff doing some laps though. That'd be much more interesting. Where's my mouse? So actually, let's just take a get to see it. I guess not. Go back to live. See if we're back. Alright, pit service time. Might get to drive again. Changing the tyres, so we'll have cold tyres again. Unfortunately now I've got to pass Ross again, so hopefully he won't take me out again. Then we've got maybe one lap left. Last lap. Alright, should be it. Alright. Well, that was interesting. I'll have to pull the replay from that one. Well done, Cliff. Yep, you too. See you at the next one. Take care.